All 8 Ethereum ETFs have officially been approved, and if that is the case, you might be wondering, well, why does the market look like this? So that's what we're going to assess in today's show. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? What does it mean for the market, and why is the market pulling back after what should be deemed as such incredibly positive news? Smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel, and we will get straight into it. Also, please vote over here in the poll section. Before I build the case, I actually want to know your guys' thoughts. Is the ETH ETF approval short term? So in the short term, is it bullish or bearish? Please vote over there. Let's get those votes in. We have 780 of you which have already voted, but over 1,000 of you live. So get those votes in over there, and then we will review. And it seems like it's pretty evenly split over there at the moment. So let's get into it. What is going on? Why does the market look like this when the ETH ETFs, of course, were approved? Well, the simple answer of why it's not just pumping straight to the upside on both ETH BTC chart as well as the USD pair is this, right? Why isn't ETH mooning? Very good analysis over here, or quick summary of why. Well, it's only the 19B4S filing which was approved, and not the important one which allows it to actually go trade is the S1, right? Approval was by Division of Trading Markets on delegated authority, and means a commissioner can challenge it within the next 10 days. So it's not actually over the line yet because it could be challenged. It also means that they're trying to hide the vote because it's a political one, right? So if you saw last night, they were scrambling. They delayed it for a few more hours after the official timeline of when it was meant to be approved. And then later they came back and said, okay, it was approved. So it's almost as if someone at the White House pushed it over the line over there. So what's really going on here is a horse trade of something pro-crypto for getting ESG rules in place. The ESG rules need to be put in place before July the 1st, or Trump can potentially challenge them if he gets elected. And ultimately, that is one of the reasons, right? There's multiple reasons. We're going to go through some of them. That's one of the reasons. Okay, but nevertheless, I guess the important part is over, right? As Eric says over here, how long could it be before it actually gets approved, or before you get to the other filing, which is going to be the S1? How long before the S1 gets approved? So he says there's only one round of comments usually on the S1. This is what happened with Bitcoin, and during the BTC round, with those S1 comments, it took 1 to 2 weeks, right? So where does that put us? Well, potentially you could be looking at sometime in June, right? Around middle of June. Of course, he also mentions over here, it's just a guess. We don't have that much to work off when it comes to these ETFs in crypto, but that's what happened with the Bitcoin one. So those are the levels on Ethereum. How far down could you possibly go? Well, 3,200, and it's still theoretically bullish, right? This is our fair value gap, right? The big inefficiency candle we've been focused on. You did theoretically tag it yesterday, so maybe we're just going to pull back a little bit again and start to move up from here. This is why I look to scale into positions as opposed to just blindly bid one particular area, because when you have these high impact volatile events, you honestly don't know, right? You have to have a pretty wide zone that you're looking at, and your invalidation would be, of course, engulfing this full candle. If you go below this candle, then it's over, right? That's going to be super bearish. But if you can defend those levels, that $3,200 level for Ethereum, then it will look okay. So this was the entire filing. Should we go through it? No, I don't think so. Look how long this is. We're not going to go through the whole thing. I'll give you the TLDR. The TLDR of this is that Ethereum is a commodity and not a security, which changes the entire thing for crypto as a whole, right? Because this changes the classification of possibly a whole series of other coins. But it doesn't necessarily mean that every single coin out there is going to get an ETF approval, right? They're forward-looking, looking at Solana now, Dogecoin. I've seen even Uniswap. What else do we have? AVAX. I saw AVAX as well as a potential. It doesn't necessarily mean that. There's only been 2 cryptos which have had CME futures trading, and that is Bitcoin and Ethereum. So therefore, that's showing institutional interest, right? If it's traded on the CME futures market, it has institutional interest. You don't have a Chainlink, Solana, XRP, Dogecoin futures contract on CME, right? There isn't that. So I just want to slam your hopes down on the guys that are looking for their favorite altcoin to get an ETF approval. Just slam those hopes down very, very quickly. Although I saw that Anthony 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗓, who of course is in politics, he actually did say, he made a tweet that Solana is next. Solana is next for an ETF approval. So only time will tell, right? Let's just take it as it comes. Let's analyze the price action one step at a time. Let's actually review, speaking of which, what you guys think on the poll, and then we'll continue on over here. So here's your poll results. Is the ETH ETF approval short-term bullish or bearish? That's your results. 55% of you think it's bullish in the short term, so you obviously think we're going to bounce very soon. 45% of you think that it's bearish. I want to look at all the different angles over here of what this means. Okay, so let's continue. ETH's a commodity, and many other coins are not going to be securities. We've never had clarity whatsoever in the US, so this does bring a little bit of extra clarity, but yes, remember, it can be challenged within the next 10 days. The tides turn. Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, is now shilling our bags. Finally, political parties are fighting for the crypto vote, and we have the most bullish setup imaginable for this year. And that is true, right? Because if they do start to print money as well and liquidity comes back into the market in a big way, that creates a very, very bullish environment. You definitely could see one of the most bullish crypto bull runs we've ever seen in this type of environment. But that is more medium to long term. So medium to long term, or let's just say, rephrase it and say long term, not necessarily even medium term, but long term, it's probably all pretty bullish for crypto, right? It gives it more credibility as well. Many sideline people, a lot of sideline boomers that don't understand crypto, they might be more inclined to get into crypto now that an ETF gets approved, right? So if you look over here at the stats of what happened with the Bitcoin ETF, right? Bitcoin ETFs are doing an average inflow of about $150 million a day since launch. BTC produces 62 million new Bitcoin per day. Remember, because ultimately there's still Bitcoin that's being mined and coming into circulation. ETH is producing 5 million new ETH per day, which is a lot less because it's now becoming incredibly deflationary, more so than Bitcoin. So he says, now imagine 150 million a day flowing into ETH ETFs at 1/3 of the market cap, because the market cap of ETH is a lot lower. Now, in theory, of course, if this happens, if there is such a demand for Ethereum ETFs, then do you understand? Do you get it? Is what he says over here. And I do tend to agree. If that is the case, it's going to be mega, mega bullish, but long term, right? Longer term. Because you need to also look at a couple of other factors, right? And this is one very, very important overhanging factor that could be bearish. And it's from Thomas. He says the Grayscale Ethereum Trust launched in 2017, and it accumulated most of its $9 billion worth of Ethereum well before staking existed. Now these funds are officially going to become unlocked. And he says, expect a bloodbath, expect a bloodbath. So something to watch. There's a lot of, diversified and split opinions over here on what comes next. But ultimately, we need liquidity. That's the truth of the matter. The phase that we're at within the market cycle in general, we kind of have the same people over here. We need new blood to come into the market. We need new retail to come into the market. We need new marketing. We need new interest as a whole, because right now it's just been a rotational shift of the same liquidity in terms of the market caps of most of these coins, right? We're just shifting liquidity from one coin to the next. And this is also what 𝗕𝗤𝗕 says. There's only so much crypto native liquidity that's actually there to go around. Keeping Ethereum afloat and its entire ecosystem is super capital intensive. Either the external TradeFi bid, so the traditional finance buyers, need to show up, or it will get ugly, especially when you consider this post over here, which does suggest that, there's going to be a massive amount of Ethereum that gets unlocked. So with that being said, let's get into some of the technicals and some of the analysis. Looking at Ethereum over here, you can see stochastic RSI reaching on the weekly back towards the upside, turning up, and really it's pushed into the previous month's high for ETH. If we can close above that, well, then it'll start to look bullish because you've also reclaimed a key horizontal over here. If you break back below, well, ultimately it may have one more flush towards the downside. Let's look back at Bitcoin over here. In order for the parabolic parabolic to be fully confirmed that we're entering into phase 5. We spoke about that. We need to see pretty much Bitcoin close this candle or next week's candle, whichever candle, but pretty much above the previous highs over there at 73,000. That would show that the parabola is intact. Where is the invalidation of the parabola and the full breakdown? Well, that's going to be this candle over here that created the wick, which means price would need to close and break below $56,000. For me personally, that would become incredibly bearish, and I'd look for a much longer term corrective phase, right? Not necessarily bull market over, just a much longer term correction. So if the parabola is going to move, you need to see price pick up, and this would become an enormous bear trap, right? So what do I mean by bear trap? Well, if bears are trying to short and exit the market over here, and you're flushing longs out of their positions right now in fear and panic, and you do see this candle push up this week, before the weekly close, and it closes up here, or even if it just closes as a full body candle flush at the 72K level, that would start to look like a very, very big bear trap, right? So the picture can change very, very quickly. This is what these volatile environments bring. This is the chop that ultimately shakes people out of the market, and this is where you have to have a plan, right? And you have to understand exactly where your validation or invalidation levels are. Now, on the daily time frame over here, we are looking at the ADX and the DI positive and negative, and you can see, again, creating a little bit of chop within this environment. So obviously the DI positive coming down, DI negative picking up, and you have the average directional index starting to roll over. But we want to see this pick up, right? We want to see new momentum come back into the market. You did get the bullish cross over here in the Ichimoku cloud. You're pulling into that cloud. This is where you want to see support found, right? Support needs to be found very, very soon. Otherwise, it's going to get mega bearish. Theoretically, this is all support, right? You are coming into a pretty key level. So it's decision time for not only the bulls, but also the bears. If bears want to take control, they better take control now. If bulls want to take control, they also better take control now. So far, I still give very, very, very slight edge in favor of the bulls. And I think based on the 4-hour time frame, you could see something like this, right? You could see a little bit of a deeper flush, right, into that 64, 63K area, shake them out, reclaim of the mid-range level over here, and then I'm still targeting exactly the same plan, a sweep back above the top side of the range, which is $73,000. So those are the range levels, right? Range low, mid-range over here, range high. It's really, really as simple as that. Now, if you do break below and gain acceptance and you can't get back above the mid-range, well, then at that point, I'm noticing there's going to be a shift in structure. And yes, then you may get flushed all the way back down to the bottom over there, and you better defend this level over here. If you break below these candles, it's going to start to look really, really bad for the market. By the way, if you do want to learn more about trading and technical analysis, and you get confused, with all the different timeframes and what I talk about, you struggle to keep up, then please go through to the link in the description below. It's entirely free, right? If you go through to the link below, you'll see over here, it says Whale School. It says over there, Whale School. Join Whale School. We are taking signups now. 5 days, 6 hours left to go before the next cohort begins. It's sponsored, right? It's sponsored by the sponsors over here. It's valued at $3,000, but because of the sponsorships, you don't have to pay anything, right? It's entirely free. Use only that link. Okay, there's a scam site that's up, which is trying to take people's money and information. So don't Google it. Literally click that exact link and then go through and sign up. Okay, looking at some of the flows and what's going on over here, we have the cumulative liquidation delta flipping negative. You guys know this. In a ranging market, this works very, very well. Are we in a ranging market? Well, I've just shown you over here, right? So theoretically, if you're in a ranging market coming into a key level, which you are, when you see the negative funding over there, you ultimately want to look to flip in the opposite direction and take the long trade. When you're coming into an area of resistance and you see extremely positive funding, well, that's where you want to counter trade it in the opposite direction. So there you have it. Negative funding over there. What's the long to short ratio? we got 4 shorts versus 1 long, right? So for every 1 long, there's 4 shorts which are currently open. So most of the market is flipping on that side. You have the open interest, which is reset, spot selling off, leverage is selling off, and price is coming down. No divergences there. It's all in accordance with what we would expect. The funding is again negative on some coins, but most of it very, very flat over here. So neutral funding rates. Ultimately, in a bull market, this doesn't last very long. So consider it an opportunity in the same way that when you look on a daily, this is what's happened, right? Every time you get negative funding, focus on the little histograms on the bottom with the red bars. I'll try zoom in over there for you. Every time you get the negative funding within a bull market, it presents a very, very long-term, strong buying opportunity that sends price towards the upside. So you got a couple over here, you got another one over here. If price continues down over here, you're going to get another series of negative funding, right? The funding's down to 0.0116 right now as it currently stands. So I'll be looking to add long positions. Personally, that's what I'm looking for. Unless there's acceptance gained under those key levels, which I've just outlined, I'm personally looking to build long positions over here and expecting a bounce. So I have over here a whole series of new trades, which I'll be scaling in on Rune. There it is. Those are the levels over there. Those are the price levels. I want to take some Rune long positions over here, add to the long. If you do want to follow along with me, remember, you are incentivized by getting, they gave $2.25 million worth of gummy tokens to Bybit to give away to you. By using the link in the description below, you'll see on the top there, it says gummy. If you go through to the Bybit gummy competition, time is running out. Well, it's not a competition, it's just an initiative. You have exactly 1 week, right? 7 days left. You have to take $500 worth of trades over there, so $500 in volume. I just received a message from someone on my team. I have to confirm it. I think that you have to take a spot trade, right? So deposit $100, trade in and out 5 times. That's $500 worth of volume. And then you guaranteed, 100% guaranteed to get $100 in USDT airdropped into your account, right? So they'll deposit that into your account. Okay, let's get into some of the other charts over here. If you do have any altcoin requests, now's the time to start to drop them. I don't want to make too much of a long-ended show today. We're going to try to keep it short, sweet, quick, precise, and to the point, and we'll let the volatility play out. But we can have a look at some of your coins. Drop it in the comment section. I am monitoring the comment section over there. So do let me know. Let's go to, okay, 𝗬𝗓 over here, because you guys are asking about 𝗬𝗓. So this was the trade. It is coming into support over here. If acceptance is gained underneath this level, and by the way, I am still scaling into my 𝗬𝗓 trade over here. So I'm still busy adding to the position. If it deviates and breaks back below this key level over here, at which point Bitcoin will probably also gain acceptance below the mid-range over here, then I will have to cut the long position at a slight loss, right? So that is the 𝗬𝗓 trade. Solana coming down pretty hard over here, but it is about to hit major support. This is support, and that's what you're seeing on a lot of the coins, right? A lot of them are going to be coming into a key level right now, and that level needs to hold. So watch for the potential deviation on some of these positions. Solana literally could come down all the way to about $159, and if it holds that level and starts to bounce, it is still theoretically bullish on that, right? Chainlink, let's have a look at Chainlink. Okay, Chainlink hit a resistance level. So this one I wouldn't be looking for longs on because it technically hit resistance, and we sell resistance and buy support, right? That's ultimately the name of the game. TON, okay, we spoke about this a whole lot. We said watch for the complacency bounce over here. Of course, if the whole market nukes, then of course TON is probably going to come down a whole lot lower. And the main area of interest for me personally for a long-term position on TON is going to be around $3. Okay, we'll get into more altcoin requests in a bit. Let's look at some of the higher beta plays for ETH. So if the ETH ETF is super bullish in the medium to long term, these are going to be some of the coins that will probably outperform. We spoke about this already. We spoke about Metis, Arbitrum, Optimism, Pepe. I think the best one out there is probably going to be Pepe. And if you look over here, that has been one of the top performers, right? ENS, Pepe, and Lido. Those are the 3 top performers when it comes to to Ethereum beta plays. You have Bitcoin dominance as well, which is showing some signs of weakness with the potential to break down from this level. You are caught at mid-range level within the range that Bitcoin dominance has been operating in, right? Bitcoin dominance has been operating in this range. You are currently caught at that mid-range level. So if you can confirm and break below that mid-range level, then you're also going to break the upsloping trend line, which is part of the, of course, rising wedge pattern, which has a measured move breaking towards the downside over here, right? So if this does break down, altcoins are going to rally. That's the point over there. A lot at stake here, But for that to break down, we also at the same time need to see Total 3 start to move towards the upside and break into this area of strength. Right now, this will be determined by whatever Bitcoin is going to do as well. We've seen all the bullish demand over here. Look at all these wicks, failure to break down week after week after week. If you see something similar once again on this weekly candle, you now have confirmation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks in a row. That is a lot of time spent over there with failure to break down, which is part of the reason why I said I would be building this long position up, right? Well, I'd be adding to those long positions over there because my bias is still bullish. So what else do we have? Before we go into more altcoin requests? So how does this whole ETH thing change the game, right? If you look over here, the SEC is in deep trouble with some of its crypto cases in light of the new determination that ETH is a commodity, because that a lot of them have built on the same principles as what ETH has, right? The SEC argued repeatedly at the hearing on Coinbase's motion to dismiss that crypto tokens operate within an ecosystem and are securities, right? So he says over here, the SEC will have difficulty explaining how ETH, which operated within a giant ecosystem, is a commodity, but Solana and Cardano are securities when traded on Coinbase, right? Coinbase is due to file a reply brief, which is going to be now today, on its petition to certify the appeal, right? So ultimately over here, something to look at. Let's have a look at Coinbase. What is Coinbase doing? Well, Coinbase is pulling back with the rest of the market. It is coming into a level of support over here, and this zone must hold. If they are to start to win their case, right, and they have a lot more of a leg to stand on, given this whole ETH being a commodity thing, then I would say this is probably going to be a reaccumulation range. And longer term, that's probably a pretty good buy for something like Coinbase, right? I guess you decide for yourself if it's something you're interested in. We went long on Coinbase a very, 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 very long time ago. So ultimately, we noticed over here, bottom over there, we were range bound. This was breaking back, so you deviated. Let's quickly can I make this big? Let's just see over here. Okay, we'll do it like that. There we go. This is the best I can do right now. So this is what we're looking at on Coinbase at the time, right? You can see over here, at the time, we were caught within this range. I'll make that nice and big for you. There we go. Okay, this level over here, we were range bound on Coinbase. So you can see support, comes up, loses that level, tests it as resistance, comes down. We're not bottom buyers. We don't buy the exact lows ever, because we wait for confirmation. Price broke up, holds the range, holds the range, holds the range, holds the range, and now you have a diagonal trend line. This is where we started to buy Coinbase at $50. It was dropped in the daily candle newsletter, right? Price continued up. We said, still holding, you can continue to add at $70. Big move, right? Broke out of an ascending triangle over here, hit the measured move, came back down, and we told you again that you can go long at this level over here at 114. So given the first entry, since the first entry over here, Coinbase is now already up 343%. So I'm saying the same thing, right? This is going to be a pretty key level over here. You can see the potential for an SR flip if we want to be a little bit more conservative and give this a bit of room, because you can see resistance, flips, holds a support. As it holds that as support, it shoots to the upside, comes back, support. If you come back into the zone over here at 189, I'm telling you again, that's probably going to be a longer term decent opportunity to add more to your Coinbase position. Now, this is for those of you who have brokerage accounts, right? If you have an interactive brokerage account or one of these places where you can trade this, then go for it. You can't trade this, in the crypto sphere. You can't like log on to Bybit, for example, and buy Coinbase stock. But if you want exposure outside of crypto with still the volatility that crypto provides, I think that's a good bet. So let's move on. I want to go back to some of the altcoins over here. So let's quickly find our charts. Was it this one? No. Where's our altcoin charts over here? 1 second, guys. 1 second. I have so many. Yeah, there's this one. Ton. Okay, I have these bright lights shining in my eyes right now. So when I have to look around to try to find a new chart, I struggle sometimes. Okay, let's have a look. What else? Let's look at Injective. It was coming into resistance. Surprise, surprise, rejected off of that level. I told you if it does sweep into this zone over here, long term it's at $18. That is a very, very good bet. AVAX. Okay, failing a key level over there, coming back down again, just like the rest of the market. What else? What else have we got? Let's check the comment section. 𝗬𝗓𝗡. Okay, let's go to 𝗬𝗓𝗡. All right, guys, please do me a favor as well. Smash the like button, and then have a look out for Sunday. I'm going to be doing a show on Sunday as well, around about this time. So look out for that show. We'll do a quick update on the markets on Sunday just because there's been a lot of volatility over here. So 𝗬𝗓𝗡, you want to see it reclaim this level very, very quickly. If 𝗬𝗓𝗡 comes down quite a lot over here, probably into the $32 region, I'll be a buyer of 𝗬𝗓𝗡. That's what I'll look to allocate. But at the moment, this is what you want to see. You want to see an immediate reclaim of that level. If you do, then you open up again the possibility of trading up to 70. That's on the cards, right? I'm going to have a quick scan through here. What else? Anything else standing out or jumping out? How's Phantom doing? Okay, rejection off of this key level over here. So pulling back at the moment. If the whole market pulls back, that would be a buying opportunity into the lower 56 cents region. All right, guys, I'm going to go through a couple more. But again, just a reminder, Whale School, you have 5 days left. 5 days? I thought it was 7. Did I say 7 earlier? Let's just refresh it. No, it's 5 days. Yeah, 5 days left to join. So we begin on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, we begin with the next cohort. Use the link in the description below. Sign up using that link. Let's have a quick look again. What else is going on over here in the market? Bitcoin dominance. I want to go into the low time frame here for Bitcoin dominance to just show you something. Let's hide all of this. So you are seeing the signs, right, that it is potentially starting to roll over. Pay attention now on the lower time frames. Let's even go into the 4 hour for Bitcoin dominance. Look at this, right? Sharp sell-off over here. If you start to see the establishment of a downtrend, lower lows, lower highs, that's your first sign that you're starting to break through those key levels, right? That's your first sign that you're going to be breaking through some of those key levels. Okay, guys, let's leave it at that. Thank you all so much for watching. I will catch all of you on the next one. Use the link in the description below. Participate in Gummy. Sign up to Whale School. Do it right now before these spaces run out for Whale School. And I'll see you all on Sunday. Cheers for now.